Welcome back. In our top business story, RAK Petroleum and Norwegian oil company DNO International will merge by the end of the year. The board of directors of RAK Petroleum approved the merger on Saturday in exchange for hiking its present 30% stake in DNO to then 40%, because RAK Petroleum will merge its oil and gas operating companies into DNO International in exchange for DNO shares. There is a compelling logic in combining the DNO and RAK Petroleum operating assets to build a first-rank independent MENA upstream operator. The CEO of RAK Petroleum, Bijan Mossavar Rahmani, was quoted on the company's website. The Dubai Gold and Commodities Exchange set a new record in August. Over 548,000 contracts valued at $27.8 billion were traded on the exchange last month. That's the largest number ever, and a plus of nearly 400% compared to the same time last year, and 76% more than in July. Also, the Dubai-based Commodities Exchange reached a new record looking at the average daily trading volume, 24,000 contracts worth $1.2 billion for the month of August. This comes as gold climbs from one record to the next, as worries about the state of the world economy spurs the demand for the precious metal. Oman's largest electricity producer, partly owned by Abu Dhabi fund Mubadla SMN Power Holding, wants to go public. The electricity company, which is a joint venture between Mubadla, UAE firm Karabel, and Oman's national trading company, plans to raise 25 million riyals, that's $65 million, by offering 35% of its share capital in an IPO on the Muscat bourse. That's according to Reuters. The company is offering slightly less than 7 million shares at an offer price of 3 riyals 52 per share. The offer period opens on September 11th and closes on October 10th. With that, let's now look at the stock indices across the GCC. And in our world business news, it is one of the most anticipated events this week for investors. US President Barack Obama's job speech to Congress on Thursday. At a Labor Day event in Detroit on Monday, he gave the public a preview of his ideas on how best to help boost the US economy by investing in infrastructure and extending payroll tax cuts.
We've got roads and bridges across this country that need rebuilding. We've got private companies with the equipment and the manpower to do the building. We've got more than 1 million unemployed construction workers ready to get dirty right now. There is work to be done, and there are workers ready to do it. Labor's on board, business is on board. We just need Congress to get on board. Let's put America back to work.
Obama's upcoming speech to Congress has taken on new urgency after last Friday's dismal jobs report. The data stoked fresh fears that the fragile U.S. economy could slide back into recession. We asked Tim Fox, chief economist at Emirates NBD, if these fears are justified and what he thinks the largest threat to the world economy is: disappointing U.S. economic data or the ongoing never-ending European debt crisis.
Well, I think the U.S. economy is certainly moving closer towards a recession, although technically it probably isn't quite there yet, as growth in the second quarter of the year still expanded by 1%. But I think the second half of the year will be spent largely second-guessing whether we have actually gone into recession or not. I think the obstacles to the economy recovering come from the fact that there are few policy options available to policymakers to stimulate growth. Monetary policy is more or less run out of space with zero interest rates, and fiscal policy, any plans that are produced by President Obama in coming days, are likely to be face obstacles in Congress. In terms of which poses the biggest potential problem to the world economy, the US weakness or the Eurozone debt crisis, I'd probably have to say the Eurozone debt crisis, as it doesn't only bring about a problem for individual countries concerned, Italy, Spain, Portugal, but it also constitutes a threat to the very existence of the euro. And I think on that basis, the potential consequences for the global economy are pretty much incalculable.
Speaking of the Eurozone debt crisis, Asian shares fell yet another day on fears about the future of the single currency. This triggered a flight towards safe havens. Gold surged to a new record today above $1,921 an ounce. Italy is the most worrying problem child at the moment as alarm grows over its partial reversal on some austerity measures. Economy Minister Giulio Tremonti, however, promised Italy will meet its budget commitments. A strong warning also comes from the World Bank. President Robert Zöllig said that risks to the global economy are intensifying and that Europe needs to solve its budget problem soon. Before we go, here's a quick overview of the oil, precious metals and currency markets. And after that, we have the day's sports news for you.